This is the advanced Google search generator, and I'm really excited to offer this to people. It's a completely free tool that I just built. Actually, I built it before, but I just completely redid everything. The look of it and all the different functions it has, added more functions. I'm going to show you exactly how to use this tool and the benefits it can give you. Basically, what this does is it automates the Google Dork process. And I'm going to show you exactly what that means real quick. Say I wanted to do a search for the infamous Lorne Armstrong in Maine. I put Lorne Armstrong in quotes and I put Maine outside the quotes. So that's going to give me direct results that show Lorne Armstrong somewhere in the results and also include Maine. You can see if I hit tools, that's going to be 2,150 results. Well, now I don't want it to mention Chris Hansen. So I'm going to put a minus sign next to Hansen. And I don't want it to mention TCAP for To Catch a Predator. So I'm going to put a minus sign next to that, or hyphen if you want to put it that way. And I'm going to do that search. And now we have 1,140 results. So before we had uh, 2,150 results, and then we have 1,140 results. So you can customize your search however you want it. And that's essentially what this tool does. It doesn't do anything for you that you can't do yourself, but it saves you a lot of time. Like some of my other tools I have on my website, it just saves you a bunch of time. I actually got someone recently that talked about that didn't like my site or didn't like the idea, and I have a national search on Skiplook, and this is a member only tool. But the national search allows you to search for public records online, Federal Bureau of Prisons, political contributors. I have it formatted in the results, all like I think would be good for investigators, nonprofits, corporate executives. And you could do all of this stuff yourself if you wanted. But if you use my tool, it's just going to save you tons of time the way I have the outputs and I have everything put together. And that's exactly what this tool does. Advanced Google Search Generator. It's a time saver, a major time saver that I use all the time. So I'm not going to be searching Lauren Armstrong. I want to go something a little more generic for the example. So I'm going to put the primary search term as Timothy Johnson. Sorry in advance to Timothy Johnson. I have nothing against any Timothy Johnson out there, but he's just an example. So what you can do here is you can put in a primary search term. You can include keywords. You can include location, business, associate. You can include anything under the sun you want. If you know Timothy Johnson is into cars, you can put cars down, whatever. Right now, I'm just going to click on or put in Boston. So that's the included keyword. Now, you don't have to utilize quotes or hyphens or anything. You can just use the words and it'll automatically format it correctly. Now, you can exclude words too. So maybe I want to exclude a certain state, or I want to, if there's two Bostons out there, or I want to exclude whatever. You can do that if you want to, and you can put in up to 3 excluded words and 3 included keywords. But you don't have to put in anything if you don't want. You can include a date range, and that'll make it more specific. I'm not going to do that for the purpose of this example. So here are the different options I have: official and government records, social and messaging, files and storage, and people and employment. So I have the options where you could click on court records if you want. I'll do that now and I'll show you the results. So we have Timothy Johnson in these different results here. And this shows you sites for Justia, Unicourt, Judy Records, or rather results for those sites. I click on tools and that's 329 directed results just for those websites and nothing else. You're not going to get anything else, no ads, no nothing. That's just for those results that I have in there. And that's just one search right there. That's just the what I put in that one, the court records. This is FOIA and government archives. And if you want, you can click on the nuclear gov bundle. So that's going to search all of them. And whatever is in these subcategories here, that's what it's going to search as open tabs. Be sure you check out the site settings. Usually by the URL, there's like a button or something right where you put in the www dot or whatever.com in there. There's a button and you can click on that and adjust your settings. So you can change the permissions, allow pop-ups if you have them blocked, because it's going to open up new tabs just like any other site would. So I clicked on the nuclear bundle and now I have a bunch of results, same 329 results, probably because there was no FOIA results or anything that came up with one of those sites like Muckrock or whatever. for Timothy Johnson related to Boston as a related keyword. So let's try some of the other searches. We have social and messaging, major socials, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. We have forums and Reddit, identity hubs, and that's like Linktree and About Me and such. So I'm just going to click on the nuclear option. That's going to open up 3 separate tabs, and I'll show you the results. So here we have LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm sure there's an Instagram somewhere in there. I click on tools, 25,500 results. So we'd probably want to make that a little more specific other than Timothy Johnson and Boston. Maybe we could make it Timothy Johnson, Boston, and accounting. If he's like an accountant or something, we put in accountant, and that would probably make the results a lot more specific. If you know something else about Timothy Johnson, you want to make it more specific, you can do that. And then I have the Reddit Quora groups thing, and we have out of these results 3,930 results. And then finally we have Linktree or About Me, and there's nothing there. There's no Timothy Johnson related to Boston that are anywhere with Linktree or About Me. And there's more searches you can do. So you can see, you can absolutely go to Google and you can put Timothy Johnson in quotes. You can put the and operator in quotes. You can put Boston like that. You can set the sites to Linktree or About Me or whatever site you're doing. You can do all these things, and you can keep a notepad full of these different searches if you want, or you can just use this tool. It's a completely free tool, like I said, and I don't have access to your searches. This is a browser-based tool, so nothing is stored here except for your cookies. And you can actually see here recent searches. There's 4. I think you can store up to 10 total. And you can see in this session, I searched for Timothy Johnson, and these are the different searches I did. If I want to rerun a search, all I got to do is click on the run button, and that'll rerun the search. That makes it easier for you if you did a search and you're like, oh yeah, what was that thing I found before within this? What did I click on? You can see your most recent searches. You don't have to redo everything. So that was the official government records, and we did social and messaging, and then we have files and storage. Now, you're probably not going to get a lot of results when it comes to files and storage, but when you do get results, they can be really good results. So I'll try it with the Boston one and see if anything comes up. I actually did get some results. So this search is Google Drive and Amazon AWS. It searches Google APIs and blob.core.windows.net. So you're getting a few different options here. And with this, we have 115 results. So you can see the different options here, or the different results rather. And then you have in title. And I actually see I have in title in here twice. That should be in URL, not in title. So I'll have to correct that. But we have, so I'm always noticing little things. I was like, oh, we can improve on this, or we can correct that. So I'm going to do that. We have some different documents here. So like file type doc, docx, PDF, text, whatever. So you have different documents that contain Timothy Johnson and Boston if you're just looking for a document. And here you have different sites like Scrib, Intellex.io, you have archive.org. So you have a few different sites here that show results for Timothy Johnson in Boston, 1,550 results. So let's check out the last option, which is people and employment. This one's I'm really proud of. I just added this. It's for people search, employment, and news. Now, if I click the nuclear option, you can see here I have the different people search, like True People Search, Fast People Search, Radaris, Family Tree Now, PQ. And with this, we have 5,770 results. And then there is the work one. And this is a really powerful one right here. Not a lot of investigators do this. We can search LinkedIn. You can search Zoom info for a surface level search. It'll still usually tell you the last known employment that it has indexed for the person. Rocket Reach, Signal Hire. So these are all really powerful sites that, again, not a lot of investigators use. We have 2,210 results here. Again, if you knew Timothy Johnson was an accountant, you could add that in. And then we have the news one. So we have AP News, Reuters, ProPublica, and some others. And there's 79 results for that. Let's go back to the search, and I'll show you one more thing just to make this a little more specific. I'm going to clear out my search history right there. You don't have to do that, but you can. And I'm going to include another one, and this one's just going to be accountant. Now, again, I don't know a Timothy Johnson in Boston that's an accountant, but I'm about to see if there is one. And with this one, I'm just going to click on employment and see if there are results. And there are actually results. So we have, let's see here, 61 results of Timothy Johnson, who is apparently an accountant in the Boston area, even though this one came up with New York. I don't know why it did that. Sometimes you get these weird results that come up. but Boston is included and accountant is included. Maybe if it's a LinkedIn, maybe he was previously in Boston. So you have these different results, and there's not a lot to search through here. There's 61 results. If he's an accountant in Boston and his name is Timothy Johnson, you might be able to find his employment with that one. So then there's another one here. Now that we included in accountant, what are we going to get from the major socials? I'm not going to use the nuclear option. I'm just going to click on that, but we do have results here. We have 212 results for Timothy Johnson related to the word Boston and related to the word accountant. So then you can start going through these results, or you can make it even more specific, or you could exclude a word or whatever. So that is the power of this tool. And again, this is 100% free. Anyone can use this. If people do abuse it, I might add like a CAPTCHA on the search, like just a simple math problem, nothing complex. I'm hoping people don't run bots or try to abuse it, but there are people that might do that, and I might take steps, but I'm still going to keep it very easy for people. So this is a complete OSINT Google search generator tool that just saves a lot of time. I use this tool every day, and you can too. You don't have to be a member. If you are interested in being a member and getting access to all the different tools I have in the Member Hub, which is a national search tool, it is different state searches, which I'm going to be adding a lot more, member only tools, the pro version of it. You can get all this for just $34.99 a month or $300 for a year. That'll save you a little over 2 months worth. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and go to skiplook.com and click join today. But if you're not, go to free resources, click on advanced Google search, and you get all this stuff completely for free.